back at it. Just the two of us this time.
Just the two of us.
With a very special thing on our neck.
Yeah. Want to mention it?
It's so funny because I feel like I sort of found the strategy for manifesting certain things, and it's like small things. But like,
Did you manifest this?
So my mom has like a pearl necklace that I just like borrow all the time whenever I'm home. And like, she uses it enough to not give it to me yet. So I like was like, I need a pearl necklace and I want something unique and different and like that has character. Cause I don't know, like I just like unique pieces in my jewelry collection. And then all of a sudden, Neshi hooks it up with this, which I'm obsessed with. How cute.
It's so cute. I mean,
like,
for those of you who are not watching and just listening, we were so honored that Neshi Designs reached out to us and they said they want to style us with pearl necklaces. And Shira's, yours is super unique. Like those are some thick ass pearls.
Isn't it fun? I'm
love
obsessed.
it.
I feel like luxurious in them, but like at the same time, they're like funky and matches my
I love
vibe.
it.
Thanks. I love yours.
It's class.
But yours is classic.
Thank you.
So Neshi, thank you so much. We love them. They're so pretty.
It. Honestly, such a vibe. And I needed to change my pearl necklace.
Yes.
I was wearing it too much, so I needed a little different one.
like summer one.
Yeah, I'm a huge pearl girl. So
You are.
Love this.
Now I'm like starting to be. So cute. So cute.
I love it.
Amazing. So I feel like when we played that self-reflection game, it did sort of well. I feel like people, the response I got specifically from one of my friends was every question we were asking each other, they were asking themselves. So I really like that because I felt like we included our audience in it.
For sure.
When you're listening, wherever you are, just like ask yourself these questions as we ask each other, because I feel like these are really hard-hitting questions.
Yeah.
Why not make it like a three-way thing right now?
I love it. And I love incorporating this because, I mean, as you guys all know, like the name of our podcast is Bumpers. And in a way, we try to highlight and embrace all the bumps in our road. And what better way than reflecting on them?
Sure.
Because I feel like we don't normally give ourselves that time to sit and think or digest about the things that have gotten us here. So yeah, no, thank you for introducing this game to me the first time.
Of course. I'm like such a fan of We're Not Really Strangers everything. So I love that we could incorporate it and every so often like kind of have a little bit of a catch up in this way. So
hell yeah. Should I ask you the first question?
Sure, mommy. Whatever you want.
Okay, this one's good.
Okay. All right.
I think it's a good one to start with.
Okay, cool.
Shira.
Should we each answer it?
No.
No.
Because I think mine would be too cliche.
Oh my God. Okay.
What have you accomplished recently that would have shocked you a year ago?
Oh my God, a year ago. Let me try to remember where I am or where I was a year ago. A year ago was, oh my God, I had come back from Israel. I was still living in the condo. And I think what would have shocked me is where I am right now with, moving to our permanent home, calling a place like a true home. That's something that sort of happened like unexpectedly. We obviously always wanted that. I think that accomplishment would have shocked me and would have made me feel all giddy and excited. And I'm just so happy where I am right now in that kind of like homey feeling. So yeah, that for sure.
A follow-up question.
Sure.
Not like you're surprised. So in that you said moving into a more permanent home.
Yeah.
Does the word permanent at all scare you?
No. honestly, for a really long time, it depends what the word, like permanent for home doesn't really scare me, because I think when it comes to feeling at home, we all just want to feel, or at least many of the people I talk to just want to feel secure where they're at. And so this idea of like stability, but also like with that permanent part, like just excites me. For a really long time, I've been, and this goes for many of us, like going from college to our apartments, having roommates, or living in, non-permanent places. And finally, I feel like I could just put my like feet in the ground and be like, okay, I could like plant myself here for a while. And whether it's permanent or not, I think like being able to be grounded at home is like something I'm so happy about. And at the same time, like also just growing up, like being a daughter of divorced parents and having two homes to kind of go back and forth.
I didn't even think about that.
So I think subconsciously for a really long time, I didn't feel like I was rested in my home.
Yeah.
And so finally being here, I'm like, wow, it's like a sigh of relief. Like I can just settle and build my own home with Jake, finally. And I think it's a psychological thing. Like you could build a home anywhere. It doesn't need to be in a house or like in a permanent situation. But for me, I associate like my home with something permanent. And so, yeah, that would have blown me away.
I love that.
Thanks.
Wow.
It's interesting. It's a good question.
That is a good question.
No more follow-ups. Only one follow-up per question.
Fine.
Juicy. What have you been sensitive to lately?
When I'm not on my period.
Should we do period and non-period?
Well, it's a really good question. Like, it's funny because all I'm thinking about right now are all the things that I was sensitive to in the past that I think I've overcome.
That's amazing. Why don't you dive into that?
I used to be really sensitive about, a few things. People not responding to me right away. Someone making a comment on my eating habits, like if I'm eating too much or too little, or why did I choose that versus this.
How did you overcome those? Like, because you're saying it's something that you were definitely sensitive to in the past, but what kind of like helped you push forward?
I hate saying this answer almost every time, but I think really just becoming a mom, like my priorities shifted completely. Like just having such a busy schedule now, I can't answer to everyone right away, or I can't, give everyone my full attention at all times. Like I can't clone myself. Yeah. So I have to give that grace and that gratitude back to other people.
Yeah.
As shitty as it sounds like for me saying it out loud, I don't think that I ever really did that to other people in the past. And I'm sorry if I ever got mad at anyone for it. If I respond to someone or if I call someone, like I really do want to give them my full-blown 100% attention. So I take my responses seriously.
Yeah.
And then in terms of eating habits, I just, again, becoming a mom, like I don't have, I don't make I have the time. I don't make the time to sit down and eat a full-on meal. Like my breakfast is like my one-on-one time that I have with myself, because that's when I put Noah to sleep. So I make sure to have a breakfast every single day. But in terms of lunch, it's usually like grabbing a snack or a nibble here and there. Or if I'm meeting someone for lunch, that's when I have lunch. Or like if I'm having a big dinner with family and like, oh, I didn't eat all day and I'm stuffing my face, like I need the energy.
Right.
So if I'm going to get a side glance from someone, like I see it, but I won't make a comment on it anymore like I used to in the past. Like I saw that.
Yeah.
or keep it to yourself.
Well, it's good that it doesn't affect you
Anymore.
anymore. You're able to overcome it. I think many people like hold those sensitivities to their core for a really long time, no matter what.
Yeah.
And like when someone like itches at it, you're like, ah. So it's good that you kind of like work through it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But in terms of what I'm sensitive about now, like
Yeah.
I feel like I get snappy pretty quick and I can't point my finger to what for.
Yeah.
I do get snappy with my husband.
Really?
Sorry, David.
Sorry, David. We'll talk about it when you're on.
Yeah.
Kidding.
I get pretty snappy with him, but I think that's just because he knows how to aggravate me, and I think he does it on purpose sometimes. Just to get a reaction from me. And I'm pretty easy to tease. So yeah, with him I get
Sensitive.
pretty sensitive. Okay, Shira. This is a deep one.
Oh no. All right.
What insecurity has been holding you back the most?
Ooh.
Take your time.
Yeah.
This one's
That's like a whammy one. This one, insecurity, I think many of us feel, especially women. Navigating celiac disease, I'm insecure about all the things I feel like I need to feel my best. Not feeling understood by that. Like going out and not being able to eat normally, or having to do my research like 10x before I do anything, or, you know, just like small things that like I know I shouldn't feel insecure about, but I think it's pretty human to feel like you're a burden in some way when you have something going on. And I think part 2 to that is just insecure. This is sort of like a little trigger, but like insecure with food. I'm still figuring out what foods support me to feel my best and look my best. And I think just like all of that associated with looks, feeling strong, feeling healthy, and then like the social element of like, do I feel good enough to go out, or do I, you know, want to sacrifice like how I feel to go out? And like it's a handful of things that I think just tie back to certain health challenges, and then like how I guess other people perceive me like going through it, whether I'm having, you know, changes in my body or changes in my eating habits. Like I'm just insecure about those parts of me. I'm someone who enjoys going out, and I love feeding off of people's energy, and I love, you know, doing fun things, but it's just, there's always that added layer that makes it a little bit kind of like more complex. So that's been an insecurity of mine for sure as of late. And then, you know, tying it into the looks and, you know, body dysmorphia stuff that comes with all of that. That's like pretty common, I know, for women and men, but that's definitely something that's been a constant struggle. But yeah, I think a conversation we should all probably have eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you for
Sure.
opening that up. I wonder, has anyone made a comment to you that made you feel insecure?
So like when we go out to eat, if I'm with a group of people, obviously like I have to tell the waiter what's up.
Yeah.
And then that, you know, just human nature, people like out of the goodness of their hearts, I know it's all, you know, well-intentioned comments, but it's like, oh, can you have this? Can you have that? What happens with this? It becomes a whole table conversation, which I'm so cool with. Like I love that people want to learn, but it's like a thing. So, you know, I don't like being the center of attention in those things, like in most cases, but with that, like, I don't want that to identify me. Like, I don't want to be identified by the things I can't eat.
Yeah.
And so like, it
sense.
just becomes a thing. And then like, as far as body changes and, you know, appearance wise, like if someone's like, oh, you look healthy, like I'm like, what the fuck does that mean, you know?
Yeah, did I not look it before?
Yeah, it's like, did I not look it before? Do I look like, does that mean, and this is definitely, I want to trigger warn, because I know body dysmorphia and like insecurities, and there's like a lot to that. It's a very heavy topic, but yeah, like when people comment on my weight or, you know, my appearance in a good way, like it's sometimes a compliment, and I'm like, I don't know why my brain kind of goes and it's like, well, does that mean about me earlier? Like, or does it mean things are worse now? Like, and it's just, I sometimes associate my health with how I look, and that's just not at all how it should be.
Yeah.
So I think that's like, I'm not proud of that insecurity. It's something I'm 100% trying to work through. And I think being in a new part of my life, I'm like better at getting over that. But it's like, yeah, it's like a shitty part that I'm trying to overcome.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
I don't know why I always get scared when you get the card. Like,
it's like the moment of truth. What do you dislike that most people love? And what do you love that most people dislike?
about myself?
About anything. You can make it about yourself.
The first thing that's coming to mind is having a big ass.
Booty.
People love my booty, but it's hard to.
You're so funny.
Listen, do I love my curves? Yeah. I think my mom definitely, you know, she gave me some good cake. But it is very hard to find clothes that fit me. I can't walk in the aisle of a plane straight. I have to turn because I'm wide.
Bootylicious.
Because of my butt, like I have like what I call a little fat pouch under my butt because it has to hold it. Like my legs can't just hold my booty. I have to have a little pouch there that holds it. So that's something that I really, really dislike, and I'm very, very self-conscious about it. 99% of the time, if I'm in a bathing suit, you will see me with my hands right under my butt, covering that portion. It's something I've always done since I was a little girl. So yeah, that's a physical feature that I dislike that a lot of people really love.
Next is, what do you love that most people dislike?
Musicals?
Musicals? Do most people in your life dislike musicals?
Yeah.
They're very LA.
They're
not like New Yorkers.
Yeah, I don't know. I love musicals. Like, catch me in my car blasting.
Really?
Like Dear Evan Hansen in my car, just because like I love musicals.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to have a lot of people who are on the same page as you. So I'll let this one fly. But that wasn't a good one because most people like that.
I just feel like I'm a huge, I love music. So I really value musicals because I think it evokes a lot of hard-hitting emotions that people have a hard time communicating. So,
I love it. That's cute. That's a good one.
Yeah, I love it. And so I guess like I love this stage of Noah's life because every movie that she likes on the TV it's a musical.
It's a musical.
So I'm in my musical era.
Musical era.
To piggyback what you just asked me.
Oh, to piggyback.
What is an unpopular opinion of yours that you hesitate to share with others?
I don't really hesitate to share much. I'm very open with what I think when I'm asked. So
emphasis when you're asked, but when you're not asked.
Okay, so when I'm not asked, I don't love New York City.
Why? And you're from there.
Yeah. I appreciate her. I think she's glorious in her own way. And I thank her for everything she's given me in my life. I just don't vibe with her at all. And the only thing that brings me back there is my family. Ever since I was a very, very little kid, I've been very sensitive to the noises of the city. And every time we'd go into the city, I would just kind of tense up and it was just like a visceral reaction that I'd get every time I'd step into Manhattan. So it's not something I'm proud to say given where I'm from, but I don't love her. I don't think she loves me back. And it's totally fine. And I think I'm like, it's okay for me to form an opinion. Like, I hate when people who've never been there, form an opinion. I'm like, why don't you love X, Y, and Z? Give me a good reason and I'll give you a good reason. I worked out of the city for a while. I took the subways. I did it all. And while I was in it, I embraced it. And I think I took on this persona of I'm a New Yorker, and I tried to love her. And then the second I stepped away, and specifically I'd visit Jake out here back in the day, and I would go back and I just would feel a wave of doom of no, I don't want to go back there. And I don't know why that is, but yeah, New York City. I don't love her. I don't think she's for me. I think she has great food and a lot to offer. But I'm not a New Yorker fan. Or I'm a New Yorker fan, but not a New York fan.
I have so many comments.
Yes, go for it. People are going to be like, fuck you.
No. One, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Because I really don't like New York City.
Yeah.
It's just the last place I want to visit. It's just not a city that I love. So I agree, and I'm not from there. Two, I think you have those, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think you have those feelings because there was a lot of hardship in your life.
Sure.
That happened there. So
the bad experiences kind of primed me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally see that. And I think towards the end of my New York experience, it was COVID, and New York was hit so hard.
Right.
I mean, we all were. Every part of the world was. But New York, I remember it being one of the biggest or the first cities to really hit hard. And I remember living right outside of the city and just feeling so eerie and weird and scared. And so, yeah, I think there's a lot of those.
It's a crowded city.
It is.
Everyone's on top of each other. It smells
It really does smell everywhere you go. But I will say that about some parts of LA too,
yes,
which
absolutely.
is another thing I'm hesitant to say. LA, the city, I love her way more than New York, but I am so glad I don't live there.
Yes, but this comes to my third comment.
Yeah.
West Coast, best coast.
True.
We have brought you here loud and proud.
Everyone, my LA community just dragged me here, and I'm very happy to be here, although I do miss all my friends and family and wish I could bring them with me.
Yeah, well, you can always visit.
You can always visit. I love visiting, but I also love going back home.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Ooh. What is the most fun that you can remember having recently, and what were you doing, and who were you with? I feel like I know this. Travel.
Oh my God, yeah. Why didn't that come up in my...
Yeah, what the hell? I'm you there? Anyone home? You were just traveling with your entire family?
That was so much fun. I recently just went to Europe with my family. We celebrated my older brother and his wife's wedding. Wow, so weird to say wife.
So crazy.
Yeah, it was amazing. They rented out a villa in Italy and invited 25 of their best friends to celebrate their wedding.
It's epic.
It was so epic, and I think it is the smartest way to celebrate a wedding, because they eloped in my parents' backyard, and then they wanted to celebrate with their friends. And what better way than to go abroad.
Live the Italian dream or Italian summer.
It was just awesome. And there was no additional ceremony or anything. It was just, they surprised everyone and brought their tux and their dress just to take pictures. And then they changed and we had a big old dinner. And, every day was a different activity. So that was so much fun. And everyone just had the best mentality. And I just love seeing people come together and celebrate love. So that was that. And then the week before, David and I celebrated as a little honeymoon.
I love that.
For our wedding because, we had a baby, so we couldn't really do that. That was our first time away from Noah, and it was also our first time together traveling abroad. That wasn't like San Diego.
Right.
Vegas, like a drive away.
How was that?
Crazy.
Did you learn anything about each other?
For sure.
In that you didn't pick up on?
I thought about it so much because, you travel with your partner before you get married to understand how your partner travels.
Most people do that.
Yeah. And
that opportunity.
The opportunity to do that yet. I learned that David is a major, major tourist when he travels.
Really?
Yeah, he wants to stop at every souvenir shop. He wants to eat at all the restaurants that have pictures on the menus. He just he wants to embrace the language of whatever city that we're in. And
does he try to learn it
Absolutely.
and talk? Nice, David. Nice.
And he forgets that, there's different cultures in every city. So he kept me on my toes, I was really laughing the whole time and I'm like, you can't do that. Or what are you doing?
Oh my God. That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
What it's like a core memory, like a core experience. I feel like all of you guys are going to remember forever, just
For
traveling
sure.
together, and it looked epic. So
it was amazing. And, David every day was we really are falling in love with each other all over again. So
sweet.
It was really sweet and
So
special.
sweet.
So yeah, that was a
Happy
fun
for you.
moment. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah. I'm concerned, honestly, if we're being honest.
I was thinking a concert.
No, travel. 10 days away. Plus. What?
If I should change it, let me know.
Okay.
I don't know. This is juicy.
Okay, let's do it. People want to know more about me. Let's go.
What's your most toxic trait that you can admit to, and where do you think it stems from?
Okay. My entire life, I always felt like and specifically when I was a kid, I can recall the moments that would spark something in me is when I felt like people were laughing at me. I felt like I was being laughed at. I don't know what it is or where it stemmed from, but there's always this notion that, everyone's pointing fingers at me and laughing. For some reason, that's something I was born with, or maybe I was primed with early on that kind of carried with me. And so I always feel like I have to prove myself in any kind of situation, even if it's very benign and we're just having a conversation. If I feel like my integrity or my character is being questioned or put at question, even if it's not, I feel like I have to kind of shut that down quickly. For example, Jake can make an observation and I'll take serious offense to it. Or my dad could say something and it rubs me the wrong way with how it was said. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you really have to say about me? It's almost there's this underlying thing that people are hiding from me or are laughing at me about that they won't talk about. It's a weird insecurity.
So you always feel like there's
an underlying
more.
There's something more that's not being
said.
Huh. And that primes me to be more jumpy or defensive or feel like I have to protect who I am. And I don't know, like, it's not with most people. It's like with a select few people who are close to me and who I allow into my life. I think I've gotten a lot better, and I pick my battles so much more these days. And sometimes I just like feel like giving something a minute really helps me. Like,
Do you get this way with mainly men or women?
both. So like sometimes like, and I don't know if like you guys relate to this, or if you do, like let us know, but like sometimes things aren't as serious as you're making them out to be. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like when your character is in question, or who you are is in question, or at least that's how you think it is, like you feel like your character is in question, but it's not. Like,
Yeah, sometimes
you
it's
could
just not, and you're
it's just
perceiving
not,
it that
and you're
way.
perceiving it that way. And so it's like, I wonder like what that is, where it stems from. It's something I genuinely like remember feeling for as long as I've been alive. Less today than when I was younger, for sure, but it's definitely still something I'm working with.
Someone-
The psychology is.
Yeah, someone probably really, like a really long time ago when you were a child, questioned your ability to do something, or you questioned your
Yeah.
worth.
Yeah.
So made you.
Maybe, yeah, and it turned me into someone who's like hyper critical of a situation.
Yeah.
Where, you know, I feel like I'm on the defense all the time. Is it good for my nervous system? Absolutely
No.
not. Is it good for my health? No. Like, is it good for my cortisol? Nope. All things I'm working through. But it's definitely something that if I'm able to balance that, it's just going to be better for me and for those I love. And like, yeah, I think it's really important to be able to reflect on those
Yeah.
parts, because like, how can you make progress if you're unaware of something you do, you know?
Yeah. Well, super normal.
Yeah.
As a woman to feel that way, because I've felt that way many times. But something for me that helped, I don't know if this would help you, but
Yeah.
I've realized over the years, and just by being a twin of a man, I feel like I can relate to a lot of men more so.
Yeah.
That they say what they mean, and they mean what they say. There's no underlying
Oh, for sure.
at any moment. There's literally no underlying issue or reasoning, justification, nothing. When they say hi, they're saying hi.
Right.
It's not
some like other.
no, it's not a hey or a hey. Like
Right.
there's no other 10 other ways of saying hi
Right.
for a man.
For sure.
And if you're a man, correct me if I'm wrong, but like just through growing up with a man and having brothers and being married and, you know, having a lot of men in my life, I've just realized that they're very simple beings. They don't know how to multitask in that way. Like in terms of, you know, thinking 10 things when they're saying one thing.
Right.
The way that women can.
For sure.
So, you know, women are always trying to think of the nicest way possible to say something, or, you know, she'll get the hint, or,
Yeah.
you know, beat around the bush when a man doesn't know how to beat around the bush. He'll just say it.
It's
And
less likely to do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. It's like, for me, it doesn't discriminate. It's men and women for me. And I think, like, these days I know who Jake is. I know who my dad is. I know, like, when they say something, what it means and what it doesn't mean. I think they also have caught on that these things get a rise out of me, and just the nature of who my dad is. Like, he, like... it's like he likes to treat it like with exposure therapy, meaning like, let me like push your button so we could get over this already.
Yeah.
So like, it's just tough love, and like, it's sweet and sensitive and all of that. But
it's all with good intention.
It's always good intention, and it's funny, but I know it's something that I'm aware of. I'm trying to work through.
Well, the first step is always admitting it.
Yeah, there we go. You heard it here first. It's important. We all have insecurities and kind of shortcomings, and I think like the quicker we're comfortable talking about them, like the quicker we could leave them behind us also.
Oh, for sure.
And so, yeah, totally down for that. Again and again.
And again and again. And at least for me, like making a joke out of it or laughing about, things that I'm insecure about make me feel a little bit better.
Totally.
So if you do the same, we're here for you.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching.